Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we are doing something a little bit different today. We have got a PS5 board in. As you can see, it's on the mat and the microscope already. But I'll show you in a second what's wrong with that. It's already been ripped apart. This is a little trick that I use to do it if you want to do it at home. Obviously this is the covers here. So as you can see here, what I've done is I take a little picture. Now this is for newbies, this is not for experienced people. This is what I get taught when starting out. Take a picture, then from there you can tally up the screws and what goes where, so that you never get the screws in the wrong place. Okay, these screws, not the silver ones here, as you can see here, these are all the same length. Some are different, like the fan. Just number them, okay? 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, etc. As you can see, I've got 2 and 3, 1 and 2, so you know that's wrong. It should be 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, etc, etc. But the other good way is just take pictures as you go along. From there, you will never get things wrong. Look, it even shows you the route of the cables for the antennas, etc. Where the ribbon goes in, one there, one there, one there, and one there. So yeah, it's a good little trick to have if you're starting out. Obviously experienced shops will have done this loads of times, and they'll be proficient in what they do, and they'll remember where things actually go. It's just for people starting out. Take pictures, don't be afraid to try things at home. But yeah, on to the main PS5. So what we'll do is I'll get this set up in a second and we'll show you on the screen. We've got a Duff HDMI port, which is obviously that one there. I've already cleaned off the liquid metal, as you can see there, and where's the other one? The other one is over here. So that's all cleaned off, as you can see there. Yep, job a good one. So yeah, so we'll get cracking on this. Let me just sit down again. Obviously this is the main board. This is a digital version. There's the battery, APU, MOSFETs, controllers, the lot. So let's get set up and I'll show you what the problem is. Right guys, back in a tick. Okay guys, we're back over at the microscope now, and as you can see, it is pretty mangled. I think that's a pin in the bottom left, but as you can see, all the other pins are completely gone, bent, smashed, ripped. Even the casing here, it's all cracked. Let me just turn this round. Let's just correct the focus. Yeah, as you can see as well, look, if you can look top right, you can see obviously one of the pins just lying out, but yeah, look at that, it's just mangled. So this is what happens when an 8-year-old puts in the cable the wrong way multiple times. Not good, but it's an easy fix. It's an easy fix. So yeah, that's it. Let's get this onto the bench, we'll get it off and we'll get it sorted. Right, back in a tick. Right guys, so I'm just going to place some Captain tape over these little components here. So we have this one, and this one. I'll take this little cap off. I do have more spare, but the other three You can't really get at the moment, they're a bit of a pain in the butt, but let's get these covered. There we go. And that should hopefully protect them from flying away when the board gets warm. So let me just make sure these are in. Yeah, so that looks good to me, guys. That'll keep that held in place while this little cap here comes off, this one there, and then I can get the HDMI port off. So we've got another one to do it on the back. Let's turn this round. And there is a few components on the back here that I want to do exactly the same with. So yep, there we go. So it's these two here, that one there, and that one. Let's just get a little bit of Captain tape. The Captain tape will come off at the end, guys. It's literally just to protect those little caps. Actually, we'll need to do it a long way. Okay, let's do this here. Let's see if we can do it right in. Come on. There we go. Boom. And again, that's literally just to protect those little caps flying away. If they get warm and fall out, I don't want to lose them. Perfect. So yeah. So that's them covered there, as you can see. There we go. I'll turn the board back over. And this will show us the other side. So that cap there, that one there, and that one, this little cap here. We will get this one off shortly. Right, let's get set up, guys, and let's get the HDMI port out. Okay, back in a tick. Right, guys, we are back. I've literally just set this up so we can remove this little cap here. The way my light is in here, I've got to get a certain angle so that I can actually see through the microscope. So what we'll do is we will get the hot air station up. We'll get that up to temp, as you can see. And we'll go about, actually, we'll put a wee drop flux on this. Don't need a lot. Flux is your best friend. So let's see if we can get this off. Let's try this another way. I am right-handed, so let's do it. There we go. Perfect. Super duper. So let's grab this little cap. We'll do it the other way. And we'll put that to the side. We'll get this cleaned up. perfect, and that's the cap gone. So now we will crack on with flipping the bolt over, and we'll get this port off. Alright guys, back in a tick. Right guys, we are just going to put a little bit of flux on front and back. So let's get some on. Remember, flux is your friend. Don't be shy to use a good amount of it. Right, so we'll get this set up and we'll get it into position. Start one. Then we will see. We'll get the heat onto it, and let's get it off, guys. Right, back. There we go, guys. All done. I'm just going to take this captain tape off, guys. It's nice and gentle. Okay, boom. We'll get this cleaned up again. Right guys, sorry about that. One of the batteries died on one of my gimbals, so I'm having to makeshift something, as you can see here. As you can see, obviously from the picture, there is a lot of bridge in there, that's where I stopped. But this needs to come off anyway, so I was retinning, the gimbal obviously stopped. So let's get some more flux on this, we'll get it cleaned up, and we will clean out the pads, and from there we can tin the pads once again, and then we can get the new port on, so bear with us. We'll go with something a little bit bigger. Where is my bigger wick? Perfect, guys. We'll just get this cleaned up with some IPA. I use a toothbrush. Awesome. So we can see obviously the pads are all good. We just need a little bit of fresh solder on. Turn this board round and we will be good to go with the port. Now this is just me. Obviously, every person will be different. I use a toothbrush. I also use, I'll show you in a second, and don't tell the wife. These are like kind of makeup pads. So as you can see, these are like makeup pads. I just dip them in IPA and then just gently brush down and clean the port. That's the back. If there's any residue, like any fibres, I just use the toothbrush. Let's get that in shot. There we go, guys. It's basically soaking wet with isopropyl, and because of that, it doesn't really leave any threads. Maybe the occasional stuff, but other than that, it's fine. There we go, guys. So what we'll do is now we will put some more flux on this. We will then tin the pads, and then we'll get set up for just a little bit of cleaning. We'll get set up, excuse me, for replacing this port. Right, bear with me, guys. Remember, flux is your friend. Let's tin all the pads, and then we'll tin the little SMD pad in this one here. Whoops. And then just to be safe, guys, I've got one, I think I'm missing one. I think they all look good bar this one. So let me just do another drop of this. I just want to be sure. Boom, all done. So what we'll do now, guys, is we will tin the HDMI port, as you can see here. That's it there. It's tiny. I'll get it on the microscope and you can see it. And that's what it's going on to. Whoops, that's where we'll get these tinned, and then it should just drop in about. It's hard to do and set up because the solder's still there, but the anchor points have been prepped, so we'll get this tinned up, and then we'll be good to rock and roll. Alright, guys, so that is it, all tinned and checked. Always check your work, so we'll stop it right there. Right, guys, we're back at sorry, the desk. So as you can see, I have popped on some flux front, and so we've got front and obviously on the rear as well. We've got the connector sitting here, obviously ready to go on. I've got my hot air station. It's warming up just now. Let's bring this up to temperature. And then from there, we will heat the port up. We'll heat the legs or the holes up, melt the solder, and drop the connector in. So let's bring this up to temperature. I'll just drop it. We'll go airspeed about. We'll go 3/4. It does take a good bit of heat to warm this up, so let's go. There we go. Turn that off. We'll wait till things cool down. I do have a fan here. We'll get some cold air on it. I did burn myself with some flux, but that's alright. That's part of the job. Now we need to just test the connectors. I've obviously still got the little cap to go on, which is fine. We can put that on last. It's easy enough to do. The doggy's having a drink in the background, all good in the hood. We've got a wee bit of solder just to go in the holes, just to tap these up. All that we are good. So let's clean up first actually, and then we can test the connections. Good bit of IPA on the toothbrush as per usual. So new connector in, looking good. Flip this round, get it cleaned on the back. And it looks like those grounding / legs are in good. I'm happy with them. I don't need to touch them. You can sometimes I do like to bridge them, as in what you're seeing just now. It gives a little bit more stability, but everyone's different in how they do things, so don't knock a shop for not doing it, and don't knock a shop for doing it. Right, let's get... We're just doing a little bit of cleaning here, guys, so bear with. Boom! There we go, guys. All done and dusted. I'll be honest. Yeah, I should have put the SMD on before the port. It was a bit of a pain in the butt to get in there angle-wise. So for some reason, I obviously the cap came off, and I usually put the SMD on first, but for some reason this time, totally forgot, and I put the port on. So in future, if you're doing this by yourself, put the SMD cap on first. There is tons of room to work with, rather than with the port installed. So yeah, that's it. Let's get it all cleaned up, and we will then put it back together and we will test. Just doing another quick test, guys, make sure everything's okay. So we'll rattle through this. Right guys, we are back. That's the PS5 back together. I've put on some more liquid metal. So it's now just a case of going over to test it in a second. I did have a problem with one of the connectors. One of the pins was bent, not the HDMI, but one of the pins at the front, the little ribbon connector going in. I must have just nicked it as I was pulling it out. So we'll see how that goes in a second. I did obviously bend it back, the cable is in, and we're all good to go. So let's take this over and we'll see what happens. Oh, bear with us, guys. Right, so let's do some moving. So bear with me, guys, while I plug this in, one-handed, I hope. There we go. We'll pop the HDMI in, which is that way. That goes in nice and snug. I'll have to do one-handed. And then we will push the power button. Got the blue light. And now, do we get a post? Let's see. Oh yeah, boom shakalak, boom. One HDMI port repaired. So yeah, that didn't go according to plan. Obviously the SMD cap, I should have replaced that prior to putting the port on. I usually do that, but for some reason I totally forgot. Maybe just I was trying to get the video on this, but who knows. But trying to put it on second, don't do it. Just take the port off and do it all over again. And obviously the other thing was, there we go, that's it. The other thing was the little ribbon cable going into the USB and the front port. This here, there's a ribbon cable. It's a big thick one. It goes in as a little push down. It looks like when pulling it out, it's just nicked a pin, but I managed to repair it and it's all good. So let's just try not to show users' data, so we can blank some stuff out. But other than that, we are good to go. So all working. That's it. Back to it. I'll get this back to the customer, and we're all good. Alright guys, hope you liked this one. A bit of a weird one, a bit of a strange and not a difficult one, but easy doable at home, just with the bare minimum. Patience would be my best one to tell you. Other than that, hope you like and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you in the next one. Now I've got like a bazillion screws to do, and we've got another PS5 to fix. So this one will be up for sale once it's done. It'll be repaired, and if you want it, just give me a shout. You'll just pay for what I bought it at. I'm not making anything on it, it's just for content. So yeah, that's it guys. On that note, one PS5 fixed. Alright guys, catch you in the next one. See ya.